The Aurora drifted through the blackness of space, its metal skin torn and smoking from the battle that had ended just hours before inside the ship. The lights flickered weakly, casting long shadows down the narrow corridors. The air smelled of burnt wires, and Lisa sat alone in the command deck, her back pressed against a broken console, her uniform torn and stained with blood. She was the only one left, the last human on the last ship of Earth's final fleet. She had watched her friends die, one by one, as the alien warships closed in their weapons, silent and deadly, their black hulls swallowing the light around them. There had been no warning, no chance to surrender, just fire and silence. Now the Aurora floated like a ghost between the stars, its engines dead, its weapons gone, and its crew gone. Lisa closed her eyes, trying to rest, but every breath hurt. Her ribs were bruised, and her left arm hung useless at her side. Still, she stayed awake. She had to. She owed that much to the others outside the ship. Something moved. At first she thought it was debris or a trick of the failing lights, but then she saw it. A sleek vessel, black as night, with no markings, no lights, no sound. It hovered just beyond the Aurora's broken hull like a predator watching its prey. Lisa's heart pounded. She reached for her sidearm, but it was gone. Lost in the chaos of the battle, she had nothing to fight with. Not that it would matter against a ship like that. The alien vessel released a small pod. It glided silently toward the Aurora and attached to the outer hull with a soft click. Lisa heard the airlock hiss open somewhere down the hall. She held her breath. Footsteps followed, slow, careful footsteps, not heavy like a soldier's, but light, like someone who did not wish to be heard. Lisa stayed still, hoping to be overlooked, but the footsteps grew closer until they stopped right outside the command deck. The door slid open. A woman stood in the doorway, tall and slender. Her skin shimmered, with faint silver lines that pulsed like distant stars. Her eyes glowed a soft blue, and her long hair floated slightly as if underwater. She wore a simple robe that seemed made of light and shadow. Lisa had seen images of the Kalith warriors, the aliens who had destroyed Earth's defenses. They were supposed to be monsters, ruthless and cold. But this woman did not look like a monster. She looked sad. The alien woman stepped inside her bare feet, making no sound. She looked around the ruined deck, her eyes lingering on the bodies of Lisa's fallen crew. Then her gaze fell on Lisa. For a long moment, neither moved. Then the alien woman did something no one expected. She knelt, her knees touched the cold metal floor, and she bowed her head slightly. Her glowing eyes dimmed. "You are still alive," she whispered. Lisa stared at her, throat tight with fear and confusion. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice rough from smoke and silence. "My name is Zara," the woman said. "I am of the Kalith." Lisa's breath caught. The Kalith princess, the one who led the attack on Earth's fleet. The one who gave the order to burn their ships and silence their voices. "You killed them all," Lisa said, her voice shaking with anger and grief. Zara did not look away. "I did," she said, simply. "Then why are you here?" Lisa demanded. "If you came to finish the job, just do it." Zara was silent for a moment, then she looked up, her eyes full of something Lisa could not name. "Because I know you," she said. Lisa frowned. "That's impossible. I've never seen you before, not in this life, perhaps," Zara said softly. "But once long ago you saved." Melissa shook her head. "You're mistaken, Zara asked gently. "Do you remember the survey mission to Proxima B when you were just a girl?" Lisa froze. That mission had been classified. Only a handful of people knew about it, and all of them were dead. "How do you know about that?" she asked. "Because I was there," Zara said. Lisa's mind raced. She remembered that mission clearly. She had been only 12 years old, traveling with her parents on a small science vessel mapping distant moons. They had found a crashed ship unlike anything human eyes had ever seen, and inside it a child. The child had silver skin and glowing eyes. She was weak, barely breathing, but alive. Her parents had argued about what to do. Some wanted to call Earth Command, others feared she was dangerous. But Lisa had crawled into the wreck and held the child's hand. She had given her water, shared her food, and stayed with her until help came. They called her Little Star. After a few weeks, the child vanished. No one knew how or why. The ship's logs showed no record of her ever being there. It was as if she had never existed, Until now. You were that child? Lisa whispered. Zara nodded. Yes, but that was over 20 years ago. Lisa said you haven't aged. Time moves differently for my people. Zara explained for you. It was decades for me. It was only a few years. Lisa looked at her. The memories flooding back, the quiet child who never spoke much but watched everything with wide, glowing eyes, who drew pictures of stars on scraps of paper and smiled when Lisa sang old Earth songs. Why did you leave? She asked. My people found me, Zara said. They took me home and forbade me from ever speaking of you or your kind. They said humans were weak, dangerous, unpredictable. But you remembered, Lisa said. Every day, Zara said. I remembered your kindness when no one else would trust me. You did? You gave me hope when I had none. Lisa looked away, tears stinging her eyes. So why destroy us now if you remember? Zara's expression darkened. The Council of Elders decided Earth was a threat. They saw your expansion, your weapons, your wars. They feared you would one day challenge the Caliph Empire, and you agreed? Lisa asked bitterly. I argued against it, Zara said fiercely. I told them humans were more than war, that you created art, music, stories, that you reached for the stars not to conquer but to understand. But they would not listen, so you led the attack anyway, Lisa said. I had no choice. Zara said if I refused, they would have killed me and sent someone far worse. Someone who would have glassed your planet instead of just disabling your fleet. Lisa stared at her, trying to read the truth. In her eyes, she wanted to hate her. She wanted to scream and curse her for the deaths of her friends, but something in Zara's voice, the pain, the regret, made her hesitate. Why are you here now? She asked. Because they know, Zara said, her voice low. They know I spared this ship. They tracked my movements. They saw I gave orders to avoid the Aurora. Liza's blood ran cold. They think you betrayed them, she said. Yes, Zara said. And treason is punished by death for both traitor and those they protect. Before Lisa could respond, the ship shuddered violently. A deep groan echoed through the metal walls. Red warning lights flashed and alarms blared. They're here, Zara said, rising quickly. She grabbed Lisa's good arm. Help me up. Lisa struggled to her feet, wincing in pain. Who's here? The Caliph war cruiser sent to retrieve me. Zara said if they find you with me, they will kill you on sight. What do we do? Lisa asked. We run, Zara said. She pulled Lisa toward the door, moving fast despite her injuries. They hurried down the corridor, the ship shaking around them as distant explosions rocked the hull out. Do we get to your ship? Lisa asked. My pod is still docked at airlock 3, Zara said, but we must hurry. They reached the junction just as a blast tore through the starboard wing. The floor tilted and Lisa fell. Zara caught her before she hit the ground. Hold on, Zara said, her voice calm but urgent. They pressed on, smoke filling the halls, now the air growing thin. When they finally reached airlock 3, the pod waited, its ramp open like an open hand. Just as they stepped inside, a massive explosion ripped through the Aurora's engine room. The force threw them both forward into the pod. Zara slammed her hand against the wall, and the ramp sealed shut. The pod detached and shot back toward the obsidian ship. Through the small window, Lisa watched as the Aurora twisted in space, its lights fading fast. I'm sorry, she whispered. Zara placed a hand on her shoulder. You survived, that is what matters. The pod docked with a soft thud, and they stepped into the alien vessel. The interior was smooth and quiet, lit by soft blue light. There were no buttons, no screens, just smooth walls that seemed to respond to thought. Zara guided Lisa to a small chamber. With a low bed and cushions rest, she said, I will get us out of here. Lisa sank onto the bed, too tired to argue. As Zara turned to leave, Lisa called out. Wait, Zara paused. Why risk everything for me? She asked. Because you once saw me, not as a weapon, not as an alien, but as a person, Zara said softly, and that changed everything. She left Lisa alone in the quiet room. Outside the ship, a massive Caliph war cruiser appeared, its hull bristling with weapons. It moved slowly like a shark circling its prey on the bridge of her ship. Zara stood tall, her hands moving over a glowing panel that appeared from the wall. They will not take you, she whispered. She activated the void slip drive, a forbidden technology that bent space itself. The ship shimmered, then vanished, leaving only ripples in the fabric of reality. The war cruiser fired but hit only empty space, far away in the silent dark. Zara's ship reappeared near a small uncharted system, its sun dim, its planets hidden by dust clouds. Here no one will find us, she said. Returning to Lisa's side, Lisa looked up at her, exhausted but awake. Where are we, she asked. A refugee, Zara said. A place your people built in secret before the war. They call it Haven. Humans live there. Lisa asked. Yes, Zara said, and they do not know the Kalith exist? Lisa closed her eyes for a moment, then opened them again. You're giving up your home, your title, your people, for you. Yes, Zara said without hesitation. Lisa sat up slowly, wincing but determined. Then I won't waste it. She said. Zara smiled, a small true smile you never do in the quiet of the ship. Two women from different worlds sat together, not as enemies, not as strangers, but as something new. Outside the stars burned cold and distant, but inside there was warmth and, for the first time in a long time, Lisa felt. The ship glided through the dust clouds of the hidden system, its dark hull blending with the shadows of space inside. Lisa sat on the soft floor of the quiet chamber, her arm wrapped in a glowing bandage that Zara had given her. It hummed gently, and already the pain had lessened. Outside the viewport, a small blue-green planet grew larger. With every passing minute, Haven, the last refuge of Earth's scattered survivors. Lisa had heard rumors of it before the war, a secret colony built deep in uncharted space meant only as a last resort. But she never believed it was real until now. Zara entered the room, her silver eyes calm but watchful. We will land in 20 minutes, she said. They do not know I am coming. They meaning the humans, Lisa, asked. Yes, Zara said, and they will not welcome. Melissa looked at her. You saved my life. You risked everything to get me here. They'll listen. Zara shook her head. Your people fear my kind, and for good reason. I led the fleet that broke their defenses. I am the face of their loss. But you're not that person anymore. Lisa said softly. Zara did not answer. She turned to the controls again, her fingers brushing the air as if reading invisible words. The ship descended through the planet's atmosphere, clouds parting like curtains to reveal green hills, rivers, and small domed settlements nestled in the valleys below. No tall cities, no war machines, just quiet life. As they neared the main landing zone, lights flickered on across the ground and figures, gathered, weapons raised. They think we're enemies. Lisa said, They are right to be cautious. Zara replied. The ship touched down with barely a sound. The ramp lowered and cool air rushed in, carrying the scent of rain, and soy. Lisa stood slowly, testing her weight on her injured leg. It held. She took a deep breath, then stepped onto the soil of Haven. Immediately shouts rang out, weapons aimed at her and at Zara, who followed close behind. Hold your fire. A voice called from the crowd. An older woman pushed through the line, her gray hair tied back, her face lined with years of worry. But her eyes sharp. She wore a simple brown coat and carried no weapon. Lisa recognized her. Dr. Elena Mitchell, one of the lead scientists from the old lunar research station. She was supposed to be dead. Elena stared at Lisa, then at Zara, her expression unreadable. Lisa Morgan, she said slowly. You're alive. Barely, Lisa said. And this is Zara. Elena said, her voice hardening. Yes, Lisa said, and she's with me. Murmurs spread through the crowd, some angry, some confused. You expect us to trust the monster who burned our fleets? Elena asked. She's not a monster, Lisa said firmly. She saved me. She defied her own people to bring me here. Elena studied Zara for a long moment, then nodded, once not to the crowd but to two guards stepped forward. Take them to the council chamber. Zara did not resist as they bound her wrists with energy cuffs. Lisa protested, but Elena held up a hand. If she's telling the truth, she has nothing to fear. They were led through the settlement, the people watching in silence, some with hatred, some with curiosity. Children peered from behind their parents' legs, their eyes wide at the sight of the silver-skinned alien. The council chamber was a low dome made of stone and recycled metal. Inside, a half-circle of men and women sat on simple benches, their faces weary but alert. Lisa stood before them. Zara beside her, still silent. "Tell us everything," Lisa said, Elena taking the center seat. So Lisa spoke. She told them of the battle, the Aurora, the pod, the truth about Zara's past and the kindness shown decades ago. She spoke of the choice Zara made to spare her and the price she paid for it. When she finished, the room was quiet. Then a man named Carter stood. He was broad-shouldered with a scar across his cheek. He had lost 3 brothers in the war. "You ask us to believe she changed," he said, his voice rough, "because a human child gave her bread 20 years ago. Not just bread," Lisa said. Hope Carter snorted. "Hope doesn't stop warships, no," Zara said, speaking for the first time, her voice clear and calm. "But it starts peace." All eyes turned to her. "You have every right to hate me," she continued. "I led the attack. I followed orders. I watched your ships burn, and I did nothing to stop it until it was almost too late. But I am here now, not as a soldier, not as a princess, but as someone who finally chose what was right over what was easy." "Why should we believe you?" Elena asked. "Because I could have left her to die," Zara said simply. "I could have let the Aurora burn and no one would have known. I could have returned home a hero instead. I stand here a traitor with nothing but the truth." Liza stepped forward. If she wanted to hurt us, she could have done it 100 times on the way here. She had full control of the ship. She fed me, healed me, protected me. Elena looked at the others. They exchanged glances, some nodding slightly. "We cannot trust her fully," Elena said. "But we cannot ignore her story either. For now she stays under guard in the Eastern Dome." "Lisa, you will stay with her as her keeper and witness," Lisa nodded. "Thank you." That night in the small dome room, Zara sat by the window looking up at the twin moons of Haven. "You didn't have to speak." "For me?" Lisa said from the beddies. "I did," Zara said. "If I stay silent, they will assume the worst and fear will win." Lisa joined her at the window. The air was cool and clean, so different from the metal halls of the Ororado. "You miss your home?" she asked. "Sometimes," Zara said, "but home is not just a place, it is the people who see you for who you truly are. I lost that long ago until you reminded me." They sat in silence for a while, watching the stars. The next morning, alarms blared through the settlement. Lisa woke. Instantly, Zara was already on her feet, her eyes alert. "What is it?" Lisa asked. Before anyone could answer, the ground shook a deep rumble like thunder. But there were no storms on. Haven Alina burst into the room, her face pale. "They found us." "Who?" Lisa asked. "The Calith War cruiser. It broke through the outer sensor net. It's entering orbit." Panic spread through the settlement. People ran to shelters, others to defense posts, but Haven had no weapons, no shields, just farms and labs and hope. Zara turned to Lisa, her expression grim. "They will scan for me first. If they find me, they will burn this place to ash. Then we stop them," Lisa said. "How?" Zara asked. "You still have your ship," Lisa said. "And you know their systems better than anyone." Zara hesitated. "But if I leave, they will follow me and spare this colony. And if you stay, they destroy everything." Lisa said, "There's only one way." Zara looked at her, understanding dawning in her eyes. "No, yes," Lisa said. "I go with you. You cannot survive the void slip without Calith. Shielding your body will fail. Then teach me how to survive it," Lisa said quickly. Zara stared at her, then nodded once. They ran to the ship. The guards tried to stop them, but Elena waved them off. "Let them go," she said. "If they fail, we all die on board." Zara worked fast, her hands flying over the controls. She activated a chamber in the rear of the ship, a small pod lined with glowing fluid. "This will protect you during the jump," she said. "It will feel like drowning, but you must hold your breath and trust." Melissa nodded. Stepping inside, the fluid rose around her, cool and thick. It filled her lungs, but she did not choke. It felt like breathing. Light. Zara sealed the pod, then returned to the bridge. The war cruiser loomed in the sky, its weapons charging. Zara spoke into the comm. "This is Princess Zara of the Calith. I surrender. Return me to the Empire and spare this world." A voice crackled back. "Traitor, you will be judged by fire." "Good," Zara whispered. She activated the void slip. The ship vanished just as the cruiser fired in the void between stars. Lisa floated in the pod, her mind calm, her body safe. When they reappeared, it was near a dying star, its red light casting long shadows. Zara opened the pod and helped Lisa out. Why here, Lisa asked. Because no one comes here. Zara said it is forbidden. The star is unstable, it will go supernova. Soon the cruiser appeared behind them, drawn by the energy trail. They followed us. Lisa said. Yes, Zara said. And now they will not leave. She turned the ship toward the star. Flying low along its surface, the cruiser followed close behind. What are you doing? Lisa asked, giving them a choice. Zara said, if they follow us into the corona, they die. If they turn back, they live. The cruiser did not turn back. It chased them deeper, into the star's fiery arms. Heat warnings flashed across the bridge. The ship groaned under the pressure hold on Zara. Said she dove straight into the heart of the star. For a moment there was only fire and light, then silence. The cruiser was gone, vaporized by the star's fury, but Zara's ship emerged on the other side, its hull scorched but intact. How did we survive? Lisa asked. My ship is made of star-forged alloy. Zara said it can withstand what others cannot. But why risk it? Lisa asked. Because some choices must be final. Zara said, the council will think I am dead. They will stop hunting Haven, and you, Lisa, looked at her. You gave up everything again. I kept what matters. Zara said, glancing at her. They returned to Haven days later. The people watched, in awe, as the black ship landed once more. Elena met them at the ramp. You did it, she said. We did, Lisa said. From that day on, Zara was no longer a prisoner. She was a protector. She helped build better sensors, stronger shields, and taught them how to hide their signals from deep space scans. In return, the humans taught her about music, about stories, about planting seeds and watching them grow. One evening, as the twin moons rose, Lisa and Zara walked through the fields. Do you think peace is possible, Lisa asked. Not peace is the absence of war, Zara said. But peace is the presence of trust, and that takes time. Lisa smiled. Then we have time, and under the quiet stars of Haven, two women from different worlds walked side by side, not as alien and human, but as friends building a future neither thought possible. Weeks passed on Haven, and life settled into a quiet rhythm. The fields grew green, the water ran clean, and the people began to smile again. Zara worked alongside them, not as a ruler, but as a neighbor. She helped repair solar panels, taught children simple star maps, and sat with elders who asked about the sky beyond their world. Lisa stayed close to her side, not as a guard anymore, but as a friend. They shared meals under the open sky and walked the forest trails where no one else went. It was there they spoke of things too heavy for crowded rooms. One evening, as fireflies blinked among the trees, Lisa asked, Do you ever dream of your home? Zara looked up at the stars. Yes, she said, but not the palace or the throne. I dream of the gardens where I played as a child before the war, before the silence, eh? Don't you miss it? I miss the idea of it. Zara said, the home I remember no longer exists. It was built on fear and control, not on truth. Lisa nodded. She understood that feeling. Earth was gone too. Not just the cities, but the feeling of safety, the belief that tomorrow would be kind. They sat in silence until a soft chime echoed from the settlement. That's the alert bell, Lisa said, frowning. They hurried back to find the council gathered around a large screen. A signal pulsed on it. Faint but clear. It's a human frequency, Elena said, but encrypted. From where? Lisa asked. Deep space. Elena replied, near the old Pluto relay. No human ship should be out there, Lisa said. All surviving vessels were accounted for or destroyed. Unless someone else made it out, Zara said quietly. The council debated for hours. Some wanted to ignore it. A trap. They said others believed it could be survivors. Lisa looked at Zara. What do you think? I think silence is a choice, Zara said, and sometimes the right choice is to answer. So they decided to go. Zara's ship was ready in hours. Lisa packed supplies while Zara adjusted the shielding for long travel. You do not have to come, Zara said as they prepared to leave. Yes, I do, Lisa said. If there are others out there, they deserve to know about Haven. They launched at dawn, the planet shrinking behind them until it was just a blue dot in the dark. The journey took 6 days, during which they listened to the signal. It repeated every hour, a simple pattern. 3 long tones, then 2 short, like a heartbeat. The 7th day they found it. Small vessel barely larger than a shuttle drifted near the broken remains of the Pluto relay. Its hull patched with scrap metal. Its lights. Zara approached, slowly scanning for threats. None appeared. They docked and entered the airlock inside. The ship was dark and cold, but signs of recent life were everywhere. Empty. Food packs, blankets, a child's drawing taped to the wall. Then a voice came from the shadows. "Don't move." A woman stepped forward holding a rusted pistol. Her face thin, her eyes sharp. She wore a torn flight suit with faded letters that read, Evelisa raised her hands slowly. "We're not enemies." "Who are you?" the woman asked Lisa. "Morgan, and this is Zarathi." Woman's eyes widened, then narrowed at Zara. "You're Kalethi," Lisa said. "But she's with us." The woman lowered her gun. Slightly, barely. "I'm Eva Reed. I was on the Persephone when the fleet fell. We jumped, blind-ended. Up here with 6 others, only 2 of us left now." "Where are they?" Lisa asked. "Owen died last week, fever. The other is sleeping in the back. Her name is Maya. She's 12. Lisa's heart ached, a child alone in the dark. We have a safe place." "Ava," she said. A colony called Havaniva shook her head. "Too good to be true." "It's real," Lisa said. "And you're welcome." Eva studied them, then nodded slowly. "Okay, but if this is a trick, I'll take us all down with me." "No tricks," Lisa said. They brought Eva and Maya aboard Zara's ship. The girl clung to Eva's hand, her eyes wide with fear. But when she saw Zara, she did not scream. She just stared. "You glow," she whispered. A little, Zara said, smiling softly. Maya's fear faded on the return trip. Eva told them everything. The Persephone had been a science vessel studying the Kuiper Belt when the attack came. They hid in the shadow of a dwarf planet for weeks, living on rations and hope. "We thought everyone was gone." Eva said, voice breaking. "You're not alone anymore," Lisa said. When they arrived at Haven, the people welcomed them with open arms. Maya ran through the fields, laughing for the first time in months. Eva stood at the edge of the crowd, tears in her eyes. Later that night, Lisa found Zara on a hill overlooking the settlement. "You gave them hope again," Zara said. "We did," Lisa said together. But their peace would not last. 3 days later, the sky turned red. Not from sunset, but from energy trails. Zara felt it before the alarms sounded. Her body tensed, her silver veins pulsed bright. "They're here," she whispered. "Not the war cruiser this time, something worse, a Kalith dreadnought, massive and black. Its hull covered in spikes of dark metal. It hung in orbit like a tombstone." "How did they find us?" Lisa asked. "They did not follow us," Zara said. "They found the signal. We answered. Diva's ship had sent a beacon before they left Pluto. A final message in case anyone was listening. The Kalith had traced it." The council gathered in panic. "We can't fight that thing," Carter said, his voice rough with fear. "We don't have to fight," Lisa said, looking at Zara. Zara understood immediately. "Noyes," Lisa said. "It's the only way." The plan was simple and dangerous. Zara would broadcast a false signal from her ship claiming she had captured human survivors and was returning to the Empire with them. The dreadnought would follow her away from Haven, but this time there would be no star to hide in, no trick to escape. "You'll be going straight to them," Lisa said. "Yes," Zara said. "And they'll kill you?" "Maybe," Zara said, "or maybe they'll believe me and I can buy you more time." Lisa grabbed her arm. "You're not going alone. I cannot let you do this," Zara said. "You don't get to decide that." Lisa said, "I'm coming." They argued. But in the end, Zara knew Lisa would not stay behind. They prepared the ship one last time. As they stood at the ramp, Eva approached, holding Maya's hand. "Thank you," she said simply. Lisa hugged her, then turned to Zara. Ready, they launched into the red sky. The dreadnought waited silent and patient. Zara opened a channel. "This is Princess Zara. I have secured the human fugitives. I request immediate escort to the Imperial Korea." Voice answered, cold and sharp. "You will be scanned." "Traitor, do not test." "Us, I do. Not test, I obey," Zara said. The dreadnought moved closer, its massive doors opening like a mouth. Zara flew the ship inside. Darkness swallowed them. They landed in a vast hangar filled with Kalith warriors, their armor black, their eyes empty. Zara stepped out, hands raised. Lisa followed behind her, head high. The warriors surrounded them, weapons ready. Then a figure emerged, tall and severe, her face lined with age. Her eyes like ice. Mother Zara said, "Princess Zara." The woman said, "Your betrayal shames our. Bloody only sought truth," Mother Zara said. "Truth is obedience," the woman snapped. She ordered them bound and taken to the judgment chamber. There before the council of elders, Zara stood alone. Lisa was held in chains nearby. "You will confess your crimes," Zara the elder said. "I confess nothing." Zara said, "I acted with honor. Honor is loyalty to the empire." "No," Zara said, "honor is protecting the innocent even when it costs you everything." The council roared in anger. "Sentence her to the void," the elder commanded. 2. Guards dragged Zara toward a chamber with no doors, only a window looking into space. Lisa struggled against her chains, screaming, "Zara's name." But Zara turned and looked at her one last time, and in that look was peace. Then the chamber opened. Zara floated into the void, but she did not die. Her body glowed brighter and brighter until light filled the hangar. The Caliph shielded their eyes. When the light faded, Zara stood whole. Her form changed, her eyes blazing with power. "You forgot, Mother," she said. "I am not just your daughter, I am the first child of the Starborn." The elders gasped. The Starborn were ancient beings, thought lost to myth. Zara raised her hands and the ship trembled. Lisa broke free as the systems failed. "Run," Zara commanded. Lisa ran back to their ship, the dreadnought shaking around her. Zara followed, her energy crackling from her skin. They launched just as the dreadnought began to tear itself apart from within. Behind them, the massive ship exploded in a silent burst of light, and the quiet that followed. Lisa looked at Zara, who sat at the controls, her glow fading. "You're not just Caliph, are you?" she asked. "No," Zara said. "My people were once Starborn, but they forgot their light. I was born with it, hidden until now." "So what now?" Lisa asked. "Now we go home," Zara said, "to haven, to the people who taught me that kindness is the truest strength." And as the ship sailed through the stars, 2 women returned, not as fugitives but as guardians of a new hope, a future built not on fear, but on the quiet courage to choose each other again and again. The return to haven was quiet, the sky clear, the air calm as if the planet itself was holding its breath when Lisa and Zara stepped onto the soil again. The people gathered not with weapons this time, but with open hands. Alina was first to approach, her eyes full of questions but also relief. "You came back," she said. "We did," Lisa said, "and they won't be coming after you again." She did not explain how. Not yet. The truth about Zara's power was too heavy for a crowd still healing from fear. That night, around a large fire in the center of the settlement, Zara finally told them everything. She spoke of the Starborn, the ancient ones who shaped galaxies with song and light, how the Caliph had once been their children, but turned away from light and chose control instead. "I was born with that old light hidden deep inside her," she said. "It woke when I chose to protect, not to conquer." Maya, the young girl, sat at her feet, eyes wide. "You're like a staring away, yes?" Zara said, smiling. From that day on, things changed, not all at once but slowly, like roots growing under soil. Zara no longer hid her glow. She walked among the people, teaching them, not just about stars, but about balance, about listening to the quiet voice inside that knows right from wrong. Lisa worked with Ava to expand the farms they planted, new seeds brought from the Persephone, and watched them grow under twin suns. Life felt full again. Not perfect, but real. One morning, a strange reading appeared on the settlement's sensors. Not a ship, not a weapon, just a soft pulse coming from the outer edge of the system. Zara studied it, her brow furrowed. "This is not Caliph." "What is it?" Lisa asked. "I do not know," she said, "but it feels old." They decided to investigate together this time. They took Maya with them. The girl had shown a gift for reading signals, her young mind sharp and quick. Aboard the ship, Maya sat beside Zara, watching the stars with wonder. "Do you think there are others like you out there?" she asked. "I hope so," Zara said. "The universe is too vast for us to be alone in kindness." They reached the source 3 days later. It was not a ship, but a station, ancient and covered in vines of glowing crystal. It floated in silence, orbiting a dead moon. As they docked, the station hummed to life, lights flickering on in patterns that looked like writing. Zara stepped out first, her skin reacting to the energy in the air. "This place knows me," she whispered. Inside the walls shimmered with moving images, stars being born, wars ending, hands joining across species. "This is a memory vault," Lisa said. "Yes," Zara said. "A place where the Starborn stored their stories in the center of the chamber." A pedestal rose from the floor. On it rested a single orb of light. When Zara touched it, the room, filled with voices, not words but feelings, joy, sorrow, hope. And then a message formed in the air, simple and clear. "The light returns." Tears filled Zara's eyes. She turned to Lisa. They knew someone would come back. "Who built this?" Lisa asked. "Those who believed. The future could be kind." Zara said, "They stayed for hours learning from the vault. It showed them how to heal broken worlds, how to grow food in poisoned soil, how to speak without words. Most importantly, it showed them they were not the first to try. This not the first humans and aliens to choose peace over war. They were part of something older, something that kept returning like seasons. When they returned to Haven, they brought the knowledge with them. They built a new dome. Not for defense, but for learning. They called it the Light Hall, and anyone could enter. Elders sat with children. Warriors shared stories with farmers, and Zara taught them all how to listen to the quiet hum of the world around them. But peace is never without challenge. One evening, Carter came to Lisa, his face grim. "We found something in the North Ridge." They followed him to a cave hidden behind a waterfall. Inside were machines. Old human machines with the logo of the Earth. Defense Corps. "Someone has been here recently," Lisa said. "And they left this," Carter said, handing her a data chip. "Back at the settlement, they played it." A man's face appeared, tired, angry, his uniform torn. "You're hearing this?" he said. "The war isn't over. The Calith Council is broken. But new leaders are rising worse than before. They call themselves the Purifiers, and they believe all non-Calith life is a mistake that must be erased. They've already burned 3 colony worlds." Lisa's blood ran cold. "They know about Haven," he continued. "If my signal reaches you, hide your lights, bury your signals, and pray." The screen went dark. Silence filled the room. Then Elena spoke. "We cannot hide forever, no," Lisa said. "We've hidden long enough." Zara stood, her glow steady. "We do not fight with weapons," she said. "We fight with truth." The next day they made a choice. They would not wait to be found. They would send a message of their own. Not a call for help, but a call for unity, using the knowledge from the memory vault. Zara built a new kind of beacon, one that did not send coordinates but feelings. It carried the sound of children laughing, the taste of fresh bread, the warmth of a hand held in friendship. It broadcast into deep space, not as a signal but as a song. Some called it foolish. Others called it brave, but Maya called it hope. Weeks passed with no answer. Then one night the sky lit up, not with fire but with ships, dozens of them, small and varied, some human, some unknown. Their hulls patched and worn, but their lights bright. They came from all corners of the galaxy, survivors, refugees, rebels, all drawn by the song. They landed one by one, not with weapons but with open ramps. A tall woman with green skin stepped forward, her eyes kind. "I heard your song," she said. "We have been looking for a place that still believes in tomorrow." "Welcome to Haven," Lisa said. More came each day, a bird-like being from the rings of Vega, a quiet robot from a dead world, a group of human teens who had lived in an asteroid for years. Zara greeted them all. "This is not just our home anymore," she told the growing crowd. "It belongs to everyone who chooses kindness over fear." The settlement expanded fast. New domes rose, new gardens bloomed, and for the first time in years, Lisa felt something she had almost forgotten. Joy. But she knew the Purifiers would come, and when they did, Haven would not stand alone. One evening, as the twin moons rose, Lisa and Zara stood on the highest hill watching the lights of the new city below. "Do you think we can really change things?" Lisa asked. "Not all at once," Zara said. "But one heart at a time." Yes, Lisa took her hand, their fingers lacing together, not as human and alien, but as friends, as family. In the distance, a new ship entered orbit, its lights blinking in the pattern of the song. Another voice had answered, and the light grew stronger. The war had not ended, but the tide was turning, not with fire, but with the quiet courage of those who refused to let darkness win. And in that moment, under the endless stars, 2 women stood, together, ready for whatever came next, not because they were strong, but because they were not alone. The future was uncertain, but it was theirs to shape, and they would shape it with open hands and open hearts. For the first time in a long time, the galaxy had a place to come home to, and it was called Haven. The days on Haven grew longer and fuller. The settlement now a true city of many voices. Human children played with beings from distant stars, sharing games and songs in a mix of words and gestures. The light hall buzzed with learning as elders and newcomers traded knowledge like precious gifts. Zara spent her mornings in the gardens, helping plant crops that grew under alien suns but thrived in Haven soil. She no longer wore robes of starlight, but simple clothes like the others. Yet her glow remained soft and steady, a quiet reminder of what she was and what she chose to. Belisa worked with the new arrivals building shelters and setting up clean water systems. She moved with purpose. Her body healed her spirit stronger than ever, but peace is never still. One morning, a small scout ship returned from the outer rim, its pilot breathless and pale. "They found a world, Lisa," he said, voice shaking. "It was full of life, green oceans, tall trees, and then nothing. Just silence." Zara knew before. He finished. The purifiers had been there. They left no bodies, no ruins, just empty cities and still rivers, as if every living thing had been wiped from memory. "How far is it from here?" Lisa asked. 3 jumps at full speed," the pilot said. "Too close," Elena said from the doorway, her face tight with worry. That night the council met in the light hall, the air heavy with fear. "They are moving faster than we thought," Carter said. "They're not just destroying. They're erasing. We cannot fight them head on." Eva added, "Their ships are too strong. Maybe we are not meant to fight them," Zara said. All eyes turned to her. "What do you mean?" Lisa asked. "The purifiers believe life outside the Calith is a flaw, a mistake. They see the universe as broken and themselves as the fixers. But what if we show them they are wrong, not with weapons but with proof of what Maya asked from the corner, her small voice clear proof. That difference is not weakness." Zara said that many voices make a stronger song. She proposed a mission, not to hide, not to run, but to go to the edge of purifier space and send the song again. Not just from Haven, but from many worlds at once. A chorus of life. It was dangerous beyond measure. If they were caught, they would not just die. They would be unmade, but if it worked, it could shake the purifier's belief to its core. "I'll go," Lisa said without hesitation. "So will I," Eva said, and me, Carter added. One by one others stood until the whole room was on its feet. Even Maya raised her hand. "I can help with the signal." Zara looked at them all. Her heart full. "This is not my fight alone anymore," she said. They prepared for days, modifying ships, installing the song beacons taught by the memory vault. Each vessel would carry a piece of the whole, so even if one fell, the song would live. The fleet that left Haven was small, just 12 ships, but each held a world's hope. Zara and Lisa flew together in the lead ship, its hull now marked with symbols from every species that joined them. As they neared purifier space, the stars seemed to dim as if afraid we are being watched. Zara said, her skin pulsing faintly. "Stay on course," Lisa said. Then the void opened, not with fire but with silence. A single ship appeared, blacker than space itself. No lights, no markings, just a smooth shape that hurt the eyes to look at. The voice that came through was not sound but thought, cold and sharp. "You carry noise, you carry error. You will be cleansed." Zara opened a channel. "This is Zara of the Starborn. We do not come to fight, we come to show you what you have forgotten. There is nothing to remember." The voice replied. "Life outside the pure form is corruption. Then let us remind you," Lisa said. She activated the beacon at first, nothing happened. Then one by one the other ships lit up their beacons, joining the song. It began as a hum, then grew into a wave of sound and light. Not loud, but deep. Like the heartbeat of a living world, it carried the cry of a newborn. The rustle of leaves, the laughter of friends, the quiet comfort of a shared meal. The purifier ship did not move. For a long moment there was only the song, then something unexpected happened. A light flickered on the black ship. Not a weapon, but a window, and behind it a face, young eyes wide, not with anger but with wonder. The voice came again, softer this time. "What is this?" "It is life." Lisa said, "All of it, messy, beautiful, strange, and real." The purifier ship drifted closer, not to attack but to listen. Zara sent more the memory of her own childhood, the taste of human bread, the feel of rain on Haven, the warmth of Maya's hand in hers. The young face watched tears forming in eyes that had never known tears before. I was taught this was weakness. The voice whispered, "It is strength." Zara said, "Because it takes courage to feel, to care, to connect." More Purifier ships appeared on the edge of sight, but they did not fire. They waited. The young one turned to them, broadcasting the song. At first they resisted, but slowly, one by one, their lights changed. From red to blue, the cleansing had stopped, not by force, but by feeling. The mission was done. As they turned to leave, the young Purifier sent one last thought. "Thank you for remembering us." Back on Haven, the people waited in silence when the ships appeared. On the horizon, cheers rose like a storm. They had done the impossible, not with war, but with truth. In the days that followed, more Purifier ships came not as enemies, but as seekers. Some stayed, others returned to their own worlds to spread the song. Empire did not fall in a day, but its heart had cracked and light was pouring through. Zara stood with Lisa on the hill, watching the sunset paint the sky in gold and violet dew. "You think it will last?" Lisa asked. "Not if we stop tending it," Zara said, "but as long as someone chooses kindness over fear, the light will grow." Maya ran up to them, breathless. They found another signal. She said, "From the far rim, it's faint, but it's answering our song." Lisa smiled. "Then we have work to do." Zara took her hand, and together they walked back to the city. Not as heroes, but as keepers of a promise made long ago under alien stars. The galaxy was still vast and dangers remained, but for the first time in generations, there was hope, not as a wish, but as a choice. And every day on Haven, that choice was made again and again, in the sharing of food, in the teaching of a child, in the quiet act of listening. The war had not ended with a bang, but with a whisper, and that whisper had become a song of many voices. Song of home, and it was only just beginning.